Number 26. The two angles shown in figure RQ04 are blank. So let's take a look here. When I scanned this, it lost some of its crispness. So your book will have a much better picture here. Here's an angle. And here's that arc that we're looking at. Now I can tell you that the two of them together make 90 degrees, so they're complementary. But that's not one of my choices. They want to know about these two angles. The whole thing adds up to 90. So these two are smaller than 90. That means they're acute. This one's acute because it's less than that full 90 degrees. And so is this one. It's a cute little angle. Little bitty one. So that answers my question right there. There's only one option that gives me acute. They are adjacent because they share that ray. It's like two rooms in my house that share a wall. Those are adjacent. That word is going to be very important to you when we get to trigonometry. So it's good to know what adjacent means. They share a ray, they're adjacent. They're acute because they're less than 90 degrees. All right, number 27. Be careful with this one. The sum of the four angles in a rectangle always add up to 180. And if Doofus can draw a rectangle, I'll show you what we're looking at here. Okay, that's a rectangle, even though it's tilted a little. But let's count. We have 90 there, and 90 there, and 90 here, and 90 here. And it doesn't matter how big or small the rectangle is, it will always have 90 times 4. And that is 360. So this statement is false. The sum of the four angles in a rectangle is always 360. You have to know what this word means to know what we're talking about, though. Sum is building up. It means when you add numbers, the sum is the answer. So if you add four angles in a rectangle, you will always get 360. The mathematical constant pi, and that looks like this. It is 22 over 7 if you're doing an exact answer. If you need an approximation, it's 3.14. And it's needed for calculating the area of a circle. Using a calculator, calculate the volume of a cylindrical tank that is 23 feet high with a radius of 6.25 feet. And round your answer to the nearest cubic foot. So I'm going to have to use the formula that I know. Yours may be a little bit different, but it will get you the same answer. And I'm going to draw myself a cylinder, or try to. A cylinder has a circular top and a rectangular bottom, something like that. So it says that the radius of this cylinder is 6.25 feet and the height is 23 feet. Remember roses, we're organizing, and we always want to check to see if those units match. The formula that you're going to need to set up and solve, or the one that I know, I think yours would be the same for a cylinder. The volume is pi times the radius to the second power times the height. So let's set it up. I'm going to leave pi in there. Radius is 6.25, and we have to square that. and then the height is 23. So I've just substituted those variables values. Then order of operations says I have to do this first. So 6.25 times 6.25 is, it's ugly, don't worry, 39.0625. Don't round yet. We're not ready. Got to bring that height down, and don't forget about little pi. I'm going to type in this whole thing in one step. So 3.14 times the 39.0625. Well, I lost that. 39.0625 times pi times 23 is 282.1.09375. And they want us to go to the nearest cubic foot, so that is about 2821 cubic feet. I like D as in delta. Using a calculator, calculate the volume of a three-dimensional triangular prism that has a 7 centimeter base, a 4 centimeter height, and a 30 millimeter depth. Remember to convert all measurements to the same unit before applying the formula. So the base, and let me look at the formula. The base is going to be 7 centimeters. The height is 4 centimeters. And the depth is 30 millimeters. So when you organize this one, you're going to realize, if you're putting the units, that you have a problem. And we need to either go to all centimeters or all millimeters. And I'm going to go to centimeters because usually that's what works. If that doesn't work, then we'll have to go back and convert. So I know that there are 10 millimeters per centimeter, so this is going to be 30 divided by 10, and that would be 3. Then the formula that I'm familiar with is height, base, and depth over 2. So volume is height, base, height is 4, base is 7, and depth is 3. And all of that sits over 2. So we will multiply 4 times 7 times 3. And that's 84 on the top. Divided by 2 is 42 cubic centimeters. Because that's what I put into this formula. And that's what I get out of this formula. And that's the answer I'm looking for. A as in alpha. That's not an easy one. Okay, if you have questions about these, please talk with your instructor. You can also come see me. If you need help with them, I'll be happy to help you. But one of your instructors will be glad to help you with this. You can watch this video as many times as you want. And for extra practice on these, go to your skill builder section. That starts on, it's a long section, I know. It starts on page 15. No, it starts on page 17. And there are lots of these to practice that will make you really, really sharp with these skills.